How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Tom Lee just said maybe one of the most bullish things I've heard him say. Not like a specific price target for crypto, but something that would make the general market explode. Let me turn these lights on. I may actually show you the video tomorrow, but I was just listening to it and I went back to listen to it a second time, and I apologize, I'm kind of dark, but who cares what I look like? I had to go back and listen to it to make sure I heard him right, because he was at the closing bell, talking about the market, talking about crypto. They specifically asked him about crypto, why crypto isn't up more, but they also asked him what was going to happen into year end for not just crypto, but the general markets. And that's why I had to go back and listen to it, because I think he's up to his price targets. He's increased his bullishness based on what's happening right now. So I want to give that to you really quickly, because I'm actually heading in the door, just pick something up from the mailbox, but I have to head in the door for the nighttime routine for the baby. So before we get started, if you don't mind, hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this. Also, if you want to trade crypto, there are links underneath the video. You can check out BYDeFi. You can start trading in just a few minutes. And we're going to have more trading competitions, free giveaways as well on there, so you can get free money. Now, Tom Lee, everyone's favorite bull, if you're bullish on the market, was talking about the market today. He was right at the closing bell, giving his general thoughts, and they said, well, you know, I'm guessing you weren't probably this bullish back when we were in April, but the S&P 500 just hit 6,800, is up 15% on the year, even after all the tariff concerns. And where do you think it can go? And he said, well, actually, we were still very bullish, even with the dip. And I think it could go up 4% higher. He said, you know, we could see up to 7,000, but with what's happened recently, with what's happened with the Fed and inflation and market or earnings coming up, we could see another 10% move. This is the part that I had to go back and listen to. He said we could see a 10% move into year end. So basically 10% over 2 months. Now, of course, like, Tom Lee doesn't know the future, but he's been very correct on this market. When other people were bearish, he was still bullish, and he's been right every single time. He's been right on a lot of individual stocks as well. So he's someone to listen to. Now, 10%, that would put us up around 7,500. Nearly $7,500 for the S&P 500. That means that, of course, there are stocks that are down, that are up less than that, but there would be stocks, big tech stocks, up 15, 20%. There are going to be, you know, smaller stocks, smaller tech stocks that maybe are even richly valued right now that could be up 40, 50%. There are going to be other companies, maybe seasonal companies, or, you know, financials, or like, you know, things that move to the front of the line and are up over 100%. Just crazy to think about that we could see another 10% move in a very short period of time. Now, that would obviously be super bullish for crypto. Bitcoin's kind of been lagging behind along with the rest of crypto. He was asked about this, and he said, well, we had one of the biggest deleveraging events ever, bigger than FTX. So it's not surprising that it's going to take a little bit of time to gain that back. However, these financial conditions are very good for crypto. And obviously, if everything's hitting all-time highs, Bitcoin's probably going to do well. Crypto's probably going to do well, but it takes a little bit more time after we had so much leverage wiped out. And he said, look at this. If I had told you that we were going to wipe out $20 billion, and it's probably much more than that, or even if we look back at like the FTX collapse, things have changed a lot. Bitcoin's just down $3,000 or $4,000 a couple weeks later. That's kind of crazy to think about, right? All this money was pumped out of the market, ripped out of the market, and yet Bitcoin's right basically where it was before. Ethereum just a couple $100 away, maybe. Nothing fundamentally collapsed. Like, there were no ripple effects that caused bankruptcies or anything that we can see right now. So it's just kind of crazy. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Maybe I'll actually show Tom Lee in the video tomorrow and play it for you so you can hear it from him. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll let you all go. Hope you have a good night. And yeah, if you want to check out BYDeFi, BTCC, BLOFIN, BTCC, WEEX, they're all linked underneath the video. See you soon. Bye.